Hello everyone and welcome to LSI F1 World Championship. We're here today for round 16 of 16, the Great British Grand Prix, the finale. The championship on both ends has been decided, but we can still have one final race. Yes, the grid is small, but like I said, as I always say, we can still have a very, very good race. We're almost ready to go for the first lap of Heisler. His team right now that he's running, it's their home Grand Prix. Of course, Aston Martin being a British team. Let's hope that that can get them a good result. I think they're fairly strong in their confidence at this circuit, so let's hope that they can make that useful in the race and in qualifying, of course. To get them good points, good position to finish the season off. A little bit of a mistake in turn 3 and 4, unfortunately. It was actually, just turn 4, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. There's still plenty of time. This is their first lap. They just want to get something down, and then they can improve later on, of course. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do. This is a very, very tricky track. It's notorious for its high-speed corners. Very, very technical, of course, in the middle sector. As you can see right through Copse Corner, they do extend now. Something to note for Copse Corner, you can extend it if you get it right. No regulations during qualifying. You can extend it at your own risk. However, in the race, if you extend 4 times, you will get a 3-second time penalty. If you extend 3 times at that one corner, you'll get away with it. But if you extend 4 times, you'll get a 3-second time penalty. If you extend by, or if you extend and then get a better run on the car ahead, or try and catch up to get DRS or something like that, you might also, depending on the situation, get yourself a 5-second time penalty because you're going off track to gain an advantage. And that could, in theory, be classed as overtaking off track. Now, whether that will be penalised today, we don't know, but we want to make sure drivers know the situation and deter them from doing so. If they are caught, we'll have to investigate it. No guarantee on a penalty, but it is possible to be awarded one. Now, Heisler invalidated. They've decided to go again, interestingly. They want to carry on. And they're not improving on their last lap. 28.0 there for PJ, and that is Luke going immediately quicker. Great to see Luke back on the grid, 7 tenths ahead of his teammate right now. Let's see, can Luke go for another pole position, and can he try and get his first win? Got P2, I think, in his last race around Abu Dhabi, I think was his last race that he raced at. No. Actually, France actually DNF'd that, but definitely Abu Dhabi got a P2. I can't remember what else, but still, they just want that P1. They haven't got the P1 yet. Let's see if they can get that. Williams also a home team as well. Husher goes into the pit lane. We have also Eager Pro setting a 27.9, so a 10th quicker right there over PJ. Everybody else is in the pit lane at the moment. So, of course, we've got the top 3, their home teams is what they're driving in right now. And we've got Sidewinder, there's no home teams there. Zingy, he'll say it's not his home circuit, but, you know, Scotland's part of Great Britain, so it kind of is in a way. So they've kind of got links, and Hyde's just got a link, of course, because they're also in an Aston. Let's hope that Sidewinder can still have a good race, but obviously these guys have a kind of British connections. In the current situation. I'm absolutely taking the mick. It's all the same cars. There's no advantage or disadvantage by being in a British team or a British driver. Sidewinder is on an outlap. Let's see what they can get done. Once again, they have done a pretty good job to get used to the game in such a short space of time. Also, of course, they had a lot of time away from the championship, so they didn't score any points to begin with, so they're just trying their best to catch up a little bit, even if they can't get too much further in the order. It's just good to see them on track, really, and hopefully we can see them next season in a bit of a stronger position. But yeah, really good job for them so far. One final race to prove us all that they are could have done a lot better if they were actually able to race in the season. And then we'll see. Zingy looking to try and return to the top step. Hydra looking for their first LSI win regardless. Sidewinder just trying to prove regardless as well. PJ as well, same as Sidewinder. Eager Pro same as PJ and Sidewinder. And Luke really wants to get that P1. They got that P2. Everybody at the moment just want to try and go for that win over Zingy, but Zingy wants it back because, of course, Belgium didn't go quite to plan in the end, and also Austria lost that on time penalties. So that's 2 wins in a row, and then Austria, then we had France. That's 3 wins in a row that Zingy has missed out on, so he needs to get another one if he wants to keep the momentum going, of course. Sidewinder now starts their lap. Let's watch on board with the Red Bull at the moment, up to turn 1. You want to extend as much as you can on the track limits and turn in nice and early to just keep it really tight. And then into turn 3, of course, braking hard. Into 4th gear, you want to carry it through. They do go down to 3rd. Bring it to the right-hand side, open up the corner, straight and up the wheel. On the exit, you can run the AstroTurf, short shifting up onto the straight now. You just need to make sure that that exit was good enough to gain you a bit of time on this straight. Turn in slightly early, then get a later apex. Don't ride the sausage curves on the inside. Short shifting up to 5th on the exit here. Straighten up once again onto the AstroTurf that you can ride pretty much on most parts of the circuit around this circuit. Into turn 9, Cops Corner. Lovely, lovely commitment there. Open up the steering as much as you dare, and unfortunately they dared a little bit too much, and that is an invalidation. Will they push to go for an in-lap, or are they just going to keep going and maybe have one more attempt? I don't quite know. That is the Williams going off the circuit to let Sidewinder go through. Interesting manoeuvres to go off the circuit right there, but it is what it is. We've got Heisler on a lap right now. Let's see what they can do through turn 2 into turn 3. Heavy braking into 4th gear. Smooth on the throttle. Don't shift down. Keep it in 4th gear. They do ride that curb again like they did before. Makes a mistake, but still valid just about, as they tried to get it onto the AstroTurf, but that curb that they hit on the inside just unsettled the car. Now into turn 6. Taking a very early apex, so that's going to immediately sacrifice the 2nd corner, which isn't ideal. Up to 5th gear, smooth on the throttle. Try and be, I guess, smooth and aggressive to gain everything you possibly can. Through turn 9 now. Let's see their commitment through Cops Corner. Turning in nicely. Bit of understeer, actually, which isn't what you want, but it didn't look like they could really help it. We got a yellow, because that's a Williams unfortunately making a mistake. I don't know who that is. We'll have to check that one later on. Riding the sausage curves on the exit here, which is interesting. Turn 13 now for Hydra. That was an interesting strategy. Up to turn 15 now, Stoke Corner. This is where I sat when I watched the Grand Prix. Lovely, lovely stuff. On the exit, just trying to keep it smooth. They haven't set a lap time just yet, so they need to try and get something in a bit of a lockup, which isn't, once again, ideal, but as long as they can get a banker in, let's see what can they do. And this is 28.1 ahead of Sidewinder, who hasn't set a lap time yet, but it is what it is. Zingy hasn't been able to set one. Has he just come out of a mistake just then on Magnussen and Beckett? So I don't quite know, but he's invalidated regardless. So had a bit of trouble in qualifying so far. He's not got too long to try and fix that, so he's gonna have to be careful. Might even have to fuel the car up with enough fuel for 2 runs. Otherwise he could lose out a lot here. So we have Luke on a lap, and I believe it was PJ that made the mistake earlier on. Into Magnussen Beckett's we go. Look at the commitment right here. Left, right, left and right once again. Awesome stuff. Smooth on the throttle, 6th gear. You can lose it, weirdly. You've just got to make sure that you try and judge if you have the traction or not. In the race, with the heavy fuel, it's going to be so easy to lose it, and especially around here as well. Some people prefer to enter into turn in gear 5 or in gear 6. Regardless, you're going to exit on gear 6, so by going into gear 6, you're going to be pretty much consistent throughout. They improved by or just under half a tank there, as they probably lost a bit of time in that final sector because they made a big correction, which isn't what they want to do. And around a circuit like this, one little mistake does actually cost you a lot of time, and it's really annoying. But it does. It's just the way it goes. One tiny correction, especially in the first sector, it can lose you about 2/10, which is mega. But it is what it is. Eager Pro P2 at the moment at 27.9. They haven't been able to improve on their original lap time. Let's watch on board and see if they're going for one last improvement lap. Because why not? Into turn 9, lifting off the throttle, dab of brakes, back onto the throttle immediately. And they get through nicely into Magnussen and Beckett's. Let's see if they have the confidence through the corners. Once again, they don't turn in as early as they could do into the first S, of course, but still not too bad. Up by a 10th, so this is going to put them at a 0.8. It's actually going to put them on a 0.7, a 27.7. Can they get to a 27.6 maybe as they exit Stowe into Club? The final chicane they go through, and then on to the Hamilton straight to finish off the lap. Smooth on the throttle, don't be too greedy. I know you want the extra time, but it's just gonna have to wait, and it is a 0.794, so they weren't able to get to the 0.6s there, but it's a nice defensive margin that they have to PJ and Heischler. Sidewinder and Zingy are yet to set lap times. Luke into the pit lane might have one more go. Not quite sure if he is going to bother or not. Sidewinder will have a lap time down in due course, but we'll watch on board with the champion to see what they can find in qualifying, of course. Sidewinder moving out the way for this guy. Can Zingy look for a possible pole position here? He's definitely leaving it to the last few minutes, literally. So it's going to be a heck of a lap that he's going to have to pull off. But here we go. Zingy going to try and set a lap time right now. On the exit of turn 18, they start their lap. No DRS on the start-finish straight. Turn 1, turning nice and early. Bit of understeer, but it is what it is. Maybe it's a race setup. Maybe it's just a race setup that they're trying to focus on in through the first chicane. Nice and smooth. Don't hit that inside curb. Lovely, lovely stuff. Missing the Astro on the outside, so losing a bit of time that was possible to gain there, but they need to just set a lap right now, regardless. If it can be quick, good, but it doesn't really matter to them at the moment. They go purple in the first sector, so it is pretty quick, despite them not being able to extend too much on the exits. Bit of an over-rotation on the exit of turn 7, but it didn't really seem to affect them too much. Bit of understeer through turn 9, but they managed to keep it within track limits into Magnussen and Beckett's. Let's see, through Maggots, nicely done, nice and tidy. Dab on the brakes on the exit, but once again, a pretty messy exit. DRS is available, and they're just going to have to hope that this is enough to get them up the order. Is it going to be possible? Final few corners they go into Stowe. Try and nail this one after the mistake on the exit of Magnussen and Beckett's. They keep it together just about, so close to the track limits. Final chicane they go. It's the moment of truth. Is it enough? Is it going to be possible? I don't quite know. And it's going to be a P2, a 0.6 in the end, and it's not enough right now to challenge Luke. Luke has done a great job with that lap so far, and that is a 0.7 there for Sidewinder, only a tenth behind Zingy, and so close margins of Eager Pro there. Absolutely incredible. Zingy could be in a bit of trouble here. That wasn't a good lap, and I know I may sound a bit harsh, but we know how fast Zingy is, and watching that lap, there were quite a few mistakes. And I don't think he'll be necessarily upset if we say that, because it's only going to be fuel to the fire to make him want to improve more. Zingy can do a lot better than that, we know, but if he's going to have another chance, as that is an Aston going round, unfortunately, he's going to have to stay out and go again. He can't afford to go into the pit lane, otherwise that might just be their last lap of the session. We've got PJ on a lap here going through turn 7. They got their teammate behind that they might be able to provide with a bit of DRS. or slipstream, I should say, onto their qualifying run. We'll have to see if they do try and plan it out. Currently, their teammate is right behind them. That's why I'm saying it, very close to the track limits, maybe not even over track limits there. They don't invalidate, so it's enough. And that is Zingy going into the pit lane, retiring from the session. That is it for them. They've given up on qualifying. That is not good. For Zingy, PJ could gain, and Luke is looking to secure a pole position. Sidewinder will not get another lap in. They're into the pit lane. PJ ran the final few corners. Let's see what they can do here as they go through. Turn 17 into 18. Smooth on the throttle. Bit of a correction as they get really aggressive. Once again, another and another. And that is a P4. It's an improvement, but not enough. So close margins. It is an improvement over Eager Pro. Eager Pro is going to try and improve just a little bit more if they can get further up the order. Heichler also as well. They really want to do well here. Is it going to be possible for them to do so? I do not know. Luke looking for that pole position. And we will stay on board with these guys right now because Luke's not going to be crossing the line for a while. And I don't think he's going to get a toe off of his teammate, if I'm correct. I'm not quite sure. I completely lost track of whether the Williams have switched around or not. Regardless, Heichler going through. Twitchy front end of that car onto the grass to try and take any advantage of the track available to them. Into Stowe now, the final time. This is the final opportunity to not start in P6 for the race. Their teammate will immediately have a chance to improve over them and prevent them from starting in 6th place as well. Here we go though. Heichler round that final corner. What's the time going to be? And is it going to be enough to improve it? It is P4. It is for Heichler. Eager Pro comes round the final corner. Is he going to be able to improve? And he does to P2 at 27.4. And as Luke will improve, PJ into the pit lane. Luke wants to just improve for bragging rights. Go on there. Go on. And he does it. Brilliant job. A 26.9 into the 26s. So Liga Pro, you got close, but not close at all. Not really. Close to my old lap. I'm much better than that, he says. Luke gets a brilliant P1. Zingy starts in P3 on the second row of the grid. Not too bad, but still, it was an interesting qualifying session for the champion. Luke takes pole position on return. Brilliant stuff and great to see them back. The Williams team is on pole for their home Grand Prix as well. Alrighty, let's see the grid for the final time. Luke takes pole position, Eager Pro in P2, Zingy in P3. This is the rest of the grid. We're going to skim through the race director just in case, and then we'll see you in a bit for the race, of course. Go! Who's gonna get it into time one? I do not know. I do know it is Luke who gets a brilliant start, and Zingy immediately jumps the Aston to P2. Brilliant start from him. Awesome traction as well. Lovely, lovely start from the Sidewinder, sending it to the inside, losing the rear. Both cars synchronized. That's absolutely incredible. Sidewinder trying to get back ahead as that's Heichler also trying to look for a move. Wasn't possible to go for it. He's just going to have to back off. But brilliant, brilliant aggression right there from PJ. Of course, that's actually Heichler losing it at turn 5, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to them. I think they just lost it on the throttles. They tried to get past Sidewinder. It wasn't enough. We have Zingy chasing behind Luke. Luke got comfortable with that qualifying session, and he's saying, no, do not get comfortable now. Both cars go off the circuit immediately as they have that heavy fuel loads in the car, getting a feel for it. They better not do it too many times, otherwise they could be in trouble. EagerPro right behind these guys as well, of course. Sidewinder not too far away either. PJ starting to lose these guys just a little bit. They've got to be careful, because if they can get that DRS, it'll be so powerful around Great Britain. Eichler, unfortunately, down the order a fair bit. They can still come back strategy-wise later on. If they play it right, though, they do have to play it right. Now, Luke takes the lead onto lap 2 of the race. He gets the fastest lap, as usual, of course. Zingy, though, he's going to wait for that DRS and then go for a move on the Williams. He just needs to... Well, he doesn't really need to worry at the moment, but the question is, will EagerPro be able to get to the DRS of Zingy, or is he going to drop back? He wants it, but Sidewinder's trying to fight for it. Sidewinder wants the position. He really wants the position. They're going to lose the DRS if they fight too hard. Is EagerPro going to let it go? He's going to let him go through. Not going to maybe look for the switchback. I don't quite know. He just needs to try and stick into a DRS train. Sidewinder really wanted it. He's let him go for it, and he's done. That is also, unfortunately, PJ making a mistake. So now Heichler and PJ are going to be pretty close together. No, Heichler unfortunately makes a mistake, and that is a DNF, already a retirement. Is it going to bring out some sort of safety car? It will not. Only a yellow flag, and that is unfortunately the end of Heichler's race on lap 2. 5 drivers remain in this race. EagerPro losing time. Sidewinder is going to be in the DRS of Zingy, if they can just keep this, of course, but Zingy is actually losing time to Luke. Luke's decided, okay, I'm just going to drop you on lap 2. Because why not? That means it doesn't have to spam ERS on lap 1. He's got it all to use on lap 2. And then for lap 3, Zingy's not going to be anywhere near close enough to make a move. A 30.8 is the fastest lap right there. And Zingy is in a bit of trouble, as Sidewinder is also nice and close behind Zingy at the moment. So is there some other problem for Zingy? Because he's getting eaten alive at the moment. It's not really what we're used to seeing with him. DRS is available. Sidewinder's unlikely to make a move right away, of course, because Zingy's going to be a bit smarter than that to blast all that ERS on the opening lap, so it's not going to be easy to just pass a car. But I don't know. This is an interesting situation, as it's a 1.5 second gap between Zingy and Luke. Currently, he needs that to get down a little bit so he can get the DRS and not allow Sidewinder to go for a move, of course. Otherwise, he could be in a big bit of trouble. Sidewinder, though, so close. Looking very racy. Very confident through the entry corners. They're actually on the medium tyre. That's maybe why, but DRS is available. They're going to get a run. They're going to spam a bit of ERS at the beginning of the straight, get the run to the outside line. Zingy's defending, says, how about that? You're going to just have to wait behind me a little bit more. But getting the run on the exit as so is Sidewinder to the outside line. Doesn't have the ability to go around. He tries to brake late, but he unfortunately locks up, causes him to understeer. He's going to lose the potential to go for the move on Zingy. But EagerPro is now back in the battle here with these guys. Zingy doesn't have the DRS. He had to go a little bit defensive to Sidewinder to not allow him to go through on that hard tyre, of course. Luke is on the hard tyre as well. So that's a 2.3 second gap to somebody that is on exactly the same strategy. So yeah, very, very strange stuff there, but brilliant stuff for Luke. Absolutely on it right now, and he's going to be looking at his first win. Purple first sector there for Sidewinder. Very, very quick at the moment. EagerPro is on that hard tyre, so if Zingy does slow down Sidewinder a little bit, EagerPro can get into this DRS train. But if it doesn't slow him down, Sidewinder's just going to be able to break away at this stage of the race at least, of course, because they're on that medium tyre. This time, though, I think he's just about done enough. Where's the DRS line? Is it just there? Or I don't know. Somewhere that we've just passed already. Gonna get the DRS. The double DRS will be available. He'll catch up to Zingy, but not to Sidewinder. Here we go. Will Sidewinder have another opportunity to go at Zingy? They're gonna go for it. Zingy once again goes defensive. And the same way that he did on the last lap. Sidewinder, is he going to be a bit wiser than before? Is he going to try and go for the switcheroo? No. Forces Zingy to take an awkward line on entry, looking for the switchback. But, oh no, that's a mistake. That is a mistake. I don't think it was contact. I didn't realise EagerPro would be close enough for that one. I think he just lost it. Really trying to get on the throttle and take advantage of Zingy. But Zingy's so good on the throttle, it's pretty much impossible. Loses the run. EagerPro now is going to have the DRS on Sidewinder, and that's not what Sidewinder needs. He's on that medium tyre. He needs to make use of it early on into this race, but with EagerPro right behind, EagerPro is going to gain a lot of time. It's not just DRS, it's about strategy as well. He's going to be gaining so much by just getting a bit of DRS while on a hard tyre compared to somebody on that medium tyre. And also, of course, the person that's dragging him along is also catching up to the car ahead. So that's brilliant for EagerPro right now. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was contact between the Aston because he wasn't really close enough. But it was a pretty big correction. If it was a correction, which would kind of suggest that it was a bit of contact. So, yeah, that's probably one of the world's greatest wonders at the moment. DRS available once again for Sidewinder, as he will catch up to Zingy, but he won't be close enough to be able to make a move this time. So this lap is just about catching back up to try and pounce on the next lap. EagerPro isn't too far away, though, so this is brilliant news for EagerPro, who's looking for a podium on the superior strategy as well. They are fighting, of course, but it's not exactly like Sidewinder has clean air. So, yeah, a small grid, but still, Sidewinder is going to struggle, of course, as he has a car ahead of him that he's having to spend time trying to get past. A 3-second time penalty there for Sidewinder as he struggles a little bit on track limits. And what I was trying to say there is, by starting on a medium tyre, you really have to make sure that you get into clean air and push, use the tyres to their potential, and then have a gap for when the hard tyre runners come back at you, of course, because they'll then be on the medium tyre. But not quite working so far for Sidewinder. However, EagerPro has made a mistake and lost a lot of time to Sidewinder. He catches back up to Zingy despite the 3 seconds. So 1.5 seconds isn't going to be enough for the strategy situation for Sidewinder. The 3 second isn't going to help either. But if EagerPro keeps on making these mistakes, then it will of course be an advantage to him, and also the DRS will help Sidewinder to take advantage of this strategy, at least over EagerPro. Maybe not Zingy, and definitely not Luke at this stage of the race. Not close enough to make a move. Just not close enough to make any kind of move, having to sit back and hold off at the moment. PJ does go and get a 3 seconds, so that's the second driver getting a 3 second on lap 7 out of 26. We have got a fair way to go at 20 laps right now until the end of this race. We're going to be on these medium and hard tyres for a lot longer. And EagerPro needs to try and catch up sooner rather than later. Of course, the tyres will switch around anyway, which will allow EagerPro to catch up nice and easily. But with Sidewinder being sat in the DRS, it's going to make it really difficult for him to actually catch. As you can see, Sidewinder just gained 2/10 on Igapro by sitting behind Zingy. He's lost 2 tenths by sitting behind Zingy in turn 7, however, but he gains it back as he's right behind, getting a bit of a tow, and also the DRS, of course. So it's just helping him secure that advantage. Zingy going over the track limits at turn 9 for a second time. Unfortunately, that is not ideal for them. And Sidewinder might spot that as an opportunity to make a move. They will. DRS available as they're going to go for the opportunity. No. Back on the ERS goes Zingy. That straight line speed on the Mercedes is absolutely insane. Got to be careful with the amount of space he leaves. Just about enough. And here we go. Sidewinder gets there. Another opportunity. They're going to go to the inside line. No, they're going to stick it back to the outside line as they did before. They're going to try and go for the same thing that didn't work a few laps ago, and basically allowing Zingy to get a free pass and allowing Igapro to catch up. So he needs to try something a little bit different if it doesn't work. So Sidewinder might have to be a bit more creative if he wants to make a move. And he's actually running at a time, because the medium tyres are going to be ready to go very, very soon. DRS available. Is he going to go for a move here? He is going to go for a move to the inside line. He will go for it. Zingy goes defensive, but way too late. He is already through. Brilliant, brilliant job there for Sidewinder. Zingy was caught napping a little bit there. Didn't expect him to go for it until it was too late. He tried to bring it slightly to the inside line, but that was absolutely amazing. Sidewinder is through, overtakes the Mercedes. Is this his chance to break away now? Is he going to be able to push and use these medium tyres to their advantage, at least while he can, of course? Igapro now in the DRS of Zingy. Are the medium tyres going to be quick enough to really be an advantage over the hard tyre? I don't know. Lap 8, lap 9, lap 10 is around about when they switch. So he's taken quite a long time to get it done. He will have clean air and he'll be able to push a little bit, but is it going to be enough? Luke 4.5 seconds ahead. Regardless, I don't know if he's even going to catch up to Luke. He can at least try and catch or gain time on Zingy and, of course, Igapro. If Zingy fights with Igapro, that's brilliant news, because right now Sidewinder is fighting these two, and if he can have an advantage by having a car in between him and Igapro, that will be very, very nice. But they're right there in the DRS. The switchover phase for tyre advantage is roundabout now, so he's not exactly going to lose any time. He's pretty much helped Zingy lose minimal time. I say that, no, Igapro lose minimal time. Zingy has lost a bit of time, of course, as they were fighting, but Igapro just, yeah, absolutely incredible right here. Sidewinder does make the move. Is it too late, though? 7 tenths, they're obviously faster, but it will switch eventually. 5 tenths, 2 tenths gain, 3 tenths gain there for Zingy on the exit of turn 7. That was absolutely incredible. So he has the advantage in the straight line, clearly. Luke is now 4.5 seconds away, so not exactly like he's gaining too much time. That's a big mistake, though, for Sidewinder. He has to dip it to the grass. Going to try and hold on, but Zingy is charging through. Going to try for a move. Goes to the inside line to have a look, but he doesn't manage to get it. Ooh, get it done. Looks like he wanted to swoop around the outside at Stowe. He dives to the inside line at Club, and he's going to get the move done. Absolutely incredible. That was amazing. I don't believe what just happened. Sidewinder decided, no, you're not going to go to the inside line. Zingy was still determined to have a look. Then had to back out, take a slightly wider line. Igapro luckily wasn't affected by that. It was quite a drastic change to the outside line. And then Sidewinder, of course, having the bad run by being on the inside, allowed Zingy to see a door wide open into Club, and he got the move done. Brilliant, brilliant stuff there for Zingy. And is that going to be the medium tyres done? Is that it? Is Igapro now going to have a chance to catch here? Will Zingy be able to break away maybe? I don't know. Regardless, they've both just lost a whole second and a second and a half, really, to Luke by fighting. Luke's loving life. Right now, they don't need to push. They can just sit where they are. But, of course, in France, they didn't exactly need to push either. They were just kind of sat in a bit of a DRS train. So, anything can happen. Luke is in the most comfortable position right now. They have everything to lose. Zingy, nothing to lose. Championship secured. Everybody else, nothing to lose. They don't have anything really that they need to worry about. So Luke is, at the moment, doing their best to keep what they currently have. Eager Pro is quick. He had a little bit of a look, because that's a mistake there for Sidewinder as he tries to take avoiding action of Zingy's car. That does allow Eager Pro to catch up a little bit, but he makes a mistake on the exit himself as he does get a bad run because of the mistake. He's going to lose a bit of time, but you can tell that these medium tyres are dropping off. The hard tyres are coming through. Time will tell if he can make the move work or not, I don't know. Still, Sidewinder is doing enough to stay nice and close to the back of the Mercedes, and the double DRS is helping him massively, because it means that Eager Pro has no real chance at making a move regardless of straight line speed, because it kind of cancels out. Of course, the DRS on DRS cancels itself out, but also, if you have DRS, the top-end speed is going to be able to extend a little bit more. If you have a low straight-line speed setup, then you can, or a low downforce setup, the straight-line speed will be much more significant, and when you get to the top end of a straight, when you get to the really, really top end of the kph, mile per hour, it will be able to carry on, whereas if you've got a slightly higher downforce setup, it will max out. You'll hit a bit of a brick wall on speed, and that is what people try and play with their setups. Zingy currently seems to be very quick in a straight line, however Sidewinder not so much. Very confident in the corners, but the mediums right now don't have enough of an advantage. I think a combination of tyres and setup gives Sidewinder the advantage in the corners, but it's not enough. Spent too long to actually make a move on Zingy, and it's not worked. He's lost a lot of time by doing so. Unfortunately, we do have a random joining the session. Hopefully they can leave soon and not cause any lag when they do so. Oh no! Oh, I thought that was a mistake there. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I thought that was Zingy or Sidewinder round. It isn't, as that is Zingy having to go defensive. Now, Sidewinder wants to try and go for a move again. Is it going to be possible? I don't know. Zingy once again decides to break away a little bit as he sees Sidewinder as a potential threat. 6.8 seconds. It's absolutely incredible. Luke is absolutely rapid at the moment. Zingy can't do anything about it. Luke doesn't need to risk any track limits. Any ERS can just wait. If there is a safety car, which is unlikely with the grid right now, he'll be good to go. DRS available, ERS available for Sidewinder, looking a lot quicker, got a much better exit compared to Zingy this time around. Looking for the switch back again. Is it going to work? No, Zingy's so slow as he is on the apex of the corner, and that was a bit of a misinterpretation there for Sidewinder. Of course, as Sidewinder, he does go to that inside line, so he wasn't able to really take a usual apex speed. Bit of a misjudgment, makes contact. Hopefully Sidewinder doesn't have damage. We'll have to check up on that later on. But Zingy being a very wide car right now, and Sidewinder is not too happy. Zingy, oh no, that is Sidewinder unfortunately round as he loses the car on turn 4, and that is him down the order. A heck of a shame. A heck of a shame. Not what we want to see at all. PJ now could possibly fight Sidewinder here. His tyres are going to be very hot, which will allow PJ to get nice and close. But tyre-wise, PJ has the advantage. Time penalty, they're exactly the same. Eager Pro now has the DRS at the moment on Zingy. Is it going to be enough of an advantage for him to catch? He still stays within DRS despite not having Sidewinder in between him now. He's going to have to do all the dirty work of fighting Zingy. He's got to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes like he did earlier on, because there's no get-out-of-jail-free card up ahead. So there's going to be no two cars fighting to slow each other down. and allow him to catch back up. That's another yellow for Sidewinder as he struggles on those hot tyres. He's going to have to make it to the pit lane, and that is immediately EagerPro reacting there. That was Zingy trying to do a bit of a fakie for EagerPro. Zingy goes to the pit lane. EagerPro does react. Now, I'm thinking, were they assuming that Sidewinder was about to DNF, and that's why they went for the pit lane? Maybe this isn't actually what they intended on doing. Both onto the medium tyre they go. It's a pretty standard strategy. So does PJ and Sidewinder, of course. Luke, he's staying out. At the moment, he has such a gap. 7 seconds, it was pretty much, to the rest of the cars behind, so he can stay out for as long as he wants. He could maybe even go for lap 20 and then go for a set of soft tyres if he really wants to. He does not have anything to risk. He can just let these tyres wear out a little bit more and then be nice and comfortable on a set of mediums. At the moment, if I was him, I'd just stay out a little bit more because there's nothing really you can lose too much. Of course, he's got the pace advantage regardless, and he has the gap to allow him to extend this tyre just a little bit more. Phenomenal driving right now. Everybody else is going to have to warm up their tyres. However, Luke decides to immediately react. He's going to go into a pit lane, and he's going to set that medium tyre. He will have 1 lap advantage over everyone else, but I don't know. Didn't want to take any kind of risk. He didn't want to lose any gap that he had. These guys will get a slight undercut, but not anything too significant. Of course, they'll have their tyres nice and warmed up. They might gain some time initially, but they'll immediately lose it, of course. Luke, Zingy, EagerPro, PJ, and Sidewinder is the grid host for DNFing earlier on in the race. Lap 15 out of 26 is what we're on right now. We are about to reach the 10 lap marker. We've got currently 12 laps. I'd say maybe in theory you could say about 11 and a half, but Luke leads the way. 6.3 seconds. So these guys did get a bit of an undercut, but they'll have that 1 lap less fresh tyres. And around this circuit where the tyres are pretty deadly, they wear fairly awkwardly. I wouldn't say bad necessarily compared to other circuits, but awkwardly. They wear a lot on the front tyres compared to the rears, and to try and counteract that, you have to play with the setup, which makes the front tyres really overheated, and it makes the rear tyres very cold, which makes it so difficult to actually drive. And as if the circuit wasn't difficult enough to drive anyway, it just doesn't help at all. But it is what it is. Zingy gaining a lot of time here, as that's EagerPro getting a 3 seconds, so they need to be steady on that. At the moment, they have a very comfortable P3. Zingy is gaining time. They're starting to lose a little bit of time, as that is a yellow there for PJ as he's trying to push his hardest. And it's going to be a battle with PJ and Sidewinder at the moment. There's still a long way for Sidewinder to catch the PJ. I think he might have had to get a bit of a wing repair, as that is all. Jeez, Zingy and EagerPro both improving, getting fastest laps, and catching up to Luke a little bit. I say that, they kind of lost a little bit in that final sector. So, yep, their time gain was significant in the first and middle sector, but after that it didn't really pay off too much. So expect to see Luke go for a purple lap this time, as he does go purple in that first sector. Let's watch on board and see how the lap goes so far. Nice and smooth on the throttle. This is going to be the ideal lap to push for a fastest lap, of course, as you can see there. Using a bit of ERS, a bit more ERS than they probably usually would, of course, to try and secure good exits, keep the revs up and stuff like that, all the good stuff. In through Mikes and Beckett's, let's see how they get this done. 6 seconds now, 6.1 seconds, gaining so much time. What the question is, what will be the gap when we end this race? Right now it's looking about 10 seconds, maybe even 12. Dare I say it? I'm gonna say 10 seconds. I'm gonna say 10 seconds is going to be the gap. Very close to track limits there is Luke as he pushes for this fastest lap if possible. It seems a lot quicker across the line. What's it going to be? I think that is the real question. It's going to be a 29.3. Brilliant, brilliant job. Let's watch and see how does that compare to everybody else. It's a second quicker. It's a second quicker to Zingy, and it's 7/10 quicker than EagerPro. That's absolutely incredible pace. Very, very good jobs for Luke right here. Incredible driving. Zingy trying his best to catch up, but it's not really enough. EagerPro is slightly catching here, but once again, not enough to get really close. They're gaining 8/10 into turn 6. On the exit, however, they lose a small bit of time. Let's see if EagerPro can try and catch back up. Maybe they can get in a DRS, and maybe we can get a battle. That'd be good to see, wouldn't it? We'll have to wait and see how it goes. He is in that DRS now. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. EagerPro is now nice and close. However, the ERS is not looking ideal there. You can see the flashing light on the back of the car. Zingy's gonna not know that at the moment, but it will be an advantage regardless. So yes, EagerPro might be able to save a bit of ERS and fight later on. At the moment, however, Zingy doesn't need to panic. Luke leads the way, pretty relaxed at the moment, nothing to really worry about. The two cars behind are in a position they might end up fighting. Everybody else is not close enough to make any kind of threat. And Luke can just focus on fast laps at the moment. They don't necessarily need to go for fastest laps because they're currently quicker by pretty much 7/10. And maybe the other cars behind will go for a fastest lap later on anyway, so it might not even be worth the risk. PJ does lose the position to Sidewinder, so we have a bit of a battle on the hands there as well, of course. We'll have to wait and see how it goes, but it is what it is at the moment. Zingy in P2, they do have EagerPro nice and close this time. Very, very close. Zingy extending the track limits once again, so they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble. EagerPro is going to be nice and close. Are they going to go for the move right here? DRS is available. ERS is available. Kind of. He's going to go to the outside line. Zingy's going to once again defend as he's now going to go wide, get the cut back. Is it going to be enough? No. Goes a little bit too wide. Instead of it being effective, he's just lost time and he's going to have to try and go for another move. At another point. PJ, however, is nice and close. Bit of a correction there. PJ could possibly look at a move here on Sidewinder. They're catching massively. Goes defensive, does the Red Bull. Here we go. PJ to the outside line. Is he going to swoop around? I don't quite know. He will swoop around. Has the inside line here. Has the advantage. Has the move. Brilliant, brilliant move there for PJ all the way around the outside. Does make a mistake, goes off the circuit, has to lift and lose a bit of time. Sidewinder doesn't gain too much, but they can tell that PJ is on the knife edge. He's got to be so careful, PJ, otherwise he's going to lose everything. A brilliant move, but don't get too excited yet. You've got to still finish this race, and ideally ahead of Sidewinder. DRS available. He's got a lot of DRS to play with as well, so he's going to be able to challenge PJ back very, very shortly. EagerPro, again, will be nice and close to Zingy here, and he's going to look for another move. Will Zingy be conquered this time? DRS available. He should be able to catch up somewhat. Not got too much DRS to be able to catch up too much. Zingy does have the advantage at the moment. A switchback this time available for EagerPro. He loses the car. Just about keeps it out of the wall. Brilliant, brilliant reactions to be able to keep that still in the race. But that is now DRS gone. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to catch up. And ERS-wise, he hasn't got anything left as he tries his best. It's unfortunately looking pretty bleak here for Igapro. He can still catch up regardless. He has the outright pace. Does he have the energy to be able to catch back up on the battery? I don't quite know. Sidewinder, he's going to be looking to try and get back past that Williams. This time the Williams has just been a little bit too strong. He's way too far ahead at the moment. And maybe, even though PJ has the disadvantage on the ERS, he might have the pace advantage. 3/10 behind is Sidewinder, so he's not exactly far away. Bit of a mistake there for PJ. DRS, ERS available. He's nice and close, and he's going to look for a new flashing light on the Williams to the outside line. Going to look for the switchback, but no. PJ delays his exit, forces Sidewinder to go side by side. But Sidewinder didn't actually recognise that he wanted him to do that, and he tried to go for the switchback regardless, makes a bit of contact. Luckily, no harm done. Just about keeping it together, both drivers. That was a close call. Wanted to go for the switchback, it wasn't available. Brilliant fighting here for these guys, fighting nice and hard. Igapro trying to catch back up. 2.7 seconds is the gap. Watch how that changes. DRS available. ERS once again available, but he's a bit too far behind to be able to really challenge, so he's probably not going to even bother using any ERS. Although, if he can get a good run on Stowe, might be able to have a go here. He knows that PJ's looking pretty low on that ERS, so it might be some sort of strategy later on in the race, maybe a last-minute lunge into the final few corners. But I'm sure PJ isn't really going to let that one go too easy. He is ahead. He's not one to really just give up a position, of course. 2.7 seconds, 2.5 seconds. Igapro is slowly catching. Is it going to be enough for him to be able to actually make a move? I don't know. It is unfortunately PJ round, and that is Sidewinder through. PJ makes a mistake on the exit of turn 4. Their tyres are baking, and they're just going to have to just try and secure some points here. Maybe look at a fastest lap. That is a possible question. Sidewinder can only pit if PJ goes for a pit stop, and Igapro would only pit if the cars behind make a pit stop and if he realizes or thinks that he can't catch up to Zingy. However, Igapro is right behind. They are gaining, and Zingy's had a couple issues of track limits on a few occasions, so turn 9 isn't too ideal for them. 8 seconds is the gap. Is my prediction gonna be right? Will Luke be able to gain? I don't know. PJ makes a mistake. Those tyres were so hot on the exit of Max and Beckett's. It's not going to be a safety car. There's no risk to any other driver. That is unfortunately PJ out of this race. I think he might have just done enough to be able to be classed as finished and score points, but lap 22 to 26, is that enough? I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's just outside of range to be able to score points there. That is very unfortunate for PJ. He gave it his best shot. He gave us a very nice battle, but it's not enough right now. That is Igapro catching up a lot here. Not enough really for him to catch up significantly. Zingy trying his best to push PJ no longer in this race. Sidewinder, I was going to say right here, like, is Luke getting a 3 second currently? Zingy's the only one without a time penalty. So Luke, he's got maybe a little bit too cheeky with the track limits. Regardless, he doesn't really need to worry. 8.5 seconds is the gap. It's completely carefree at the moment. Igapro is going to be catching, and he might have a go on the final few laps. So that will also potentially increase the gap that Luke has to the other cars behind, of course. 1.5 seconds is the gap now. Gained by 0.3 pretty much overall on this lap. Still needs to find a fair bit more if he wants to get the DRS, and then an extra bit if he wants to pass. Zingy's not the easiest car in the world to make a overtake on. You can see Eager Pro right there. Is he going to be able to make a move though? I don't quite know. Doing his best, but that gap is slowly ticking down ever so slightly. It's not looking too good at the moment. It's not looking too good. Sidewinder just on his own at the moment. He's going to be looking for a fastest lap, I'm sure. He can go and plonk on a set of soft tyres and look for it a little bit later on. Eager Pro, he's not going to have that opportunity. He's not going to want to do it. Luke, not going to want to do it either, not far enough. The pit lane is actually very long around this circuit, and that is why it's just impossible to be able to go for a pit stop in certain occasions, because the car behind will be able to make a move. It's all kind of into perspective anyway, because if the other person pits, you're going to be nice and close anyway, so... Yeah, I'm blabbing on there. I am blabbing on just a little bit. 1.0 seconds. Eager Pro only needs a little bit more and he'll be nice and close. Is he going to be able to challenge for the move? That is the question on the final laps. I don't quite know. Luke leads the way by a very nice gap. 9.1 seconds, 9.2. 8 tenths away from having the gap that I expected him to do. 10 seconds right now. Is it going to look possible? Zingy. P2, 1.1 seconds. Eager Pro loses a bit of time, and Zingy is going to be nice and close. Eager Pro, 1.2 seconds. Is he going to gain here? He's gained a little bit on the exit, but not really a significant amount. Maybe Zingy's starting to push it. If he can keep Eager Pro out of the DRS, he's going to love it. Eager Pro pushing with all that he can. 9 tenths. Lap 25 is going to be the lap to catch up. Lap 26 is going to be the lap to overtake. Will he be able to get there in time though? I don't quite know. I do not know. 0.5 seconds is the gap that Luke has. Lap 25 out of 26. He just needs a bit more time to get to that 10-second gap. It would be a pretty good job. If you can get that done, of course. Eager Pro needs a bit more time. He hasn't got the DRS here. He has not managed to get it. He's got one final opportunity to really close in. Otherwise, it's not going to look ideal unless Zingy makes a major mistake. This guy's got pretty much 1.5 laps to go, and he will be crowned winner for the first time in LSI. 10 seconds is the gap that he has. He's managed to get it done. Phenomenal job there from this guy. He's done an amazing job. Zingy is right there. Is it going to be enough? 0.9, 0.0. Is it going to work? I think it might just about work. That is Eager Pro making a mistake, and he gets another 3 seconds. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. He makes another mistake as he's cutting Maggers and Beckett's a little bit too much. Did he get the DRS though? That is the question. No, he didn't. Lap 25 out of 26. He hasn't done enough. He has not done enough. One final miracle is possible for Eager Pro, but there's only one lap available. Is it going to work for him? I don't know. I really don't know if it will work out. He's got a 6-second time penalty over Zingy, so it's really looking difficult. 0.2 seconds now. He's used everything he possibly could, and it's not looking too promising, but still, what an effort right now he's just done. That is amazing. 9.7 seconds. Zingy has decided to start using a little bit of energy to make sure Eager Pro can't close. He gains a lot of time there. Not enough for the DRS, but he gains a massive amount. He's got the final half a lap to go to try and get to the DRS and maybe push for a move. Very unlikely, however. This guy's got now half a lap, not 1.5 laps, half a lap to go, and he will take a win. That'll be amazing. Zingy is going to take P2 in the end as Eager Pro makes a mistake. I do not believe it. Turn 7 will be Very costly. Zingy's done an amazing job. That is such a shame for the Aston of Pro, but this guy, all eyes on this guy. An amazing job. This is what we wanted to see from Luke so many times before. He wasn't able to get it done then, but he's got it done now. Luke comes around the final few corners to take his first ever win. Luke is going to win the Great British Grand Prix. Amazing job for this guy. Amazing job indeed. This guy is going to be the champion in Season 9, and he will take a brilliant P2 after that. A very, very good battle there with Pro. Very, very entertaining for sure. And then we will see Pro taking a P3 in the end. Not what they wanted, but still a very good position and a nice podium. Sidewinder didn't want to look for the fastest lappy in the end. They're just gonna take that P4 home. Brilliant job from them. Amazing. That is the triple there for Luke. That is the triple. He led every single lap. He won the race, got fastest lap and pole position. That is not something that you see too often. Leading every single lap, of course. Brilliant. That was a very commanding and all you can really say is dominant race from Luke there. Luke takes the win for the Great British Grand Prix, round 16 out of 16. He's waited a while to get that win under his belt, but he's managed to do it. There is the grid. Luke takes the win. Zingy in P2, Pro in P3. Sidewinder finishes off the order. PJ and Heisler DNFing earlier on. This is the race director, just in case if we need to check it a little bit later on. And the pit stops are, of course, there. We will see you in a bit for the post-race interviews. Hello everyone and welcome to the post-race interviews of the Great British Grand Prix, the final time. For Season 9 in LSI, we are going to be speaking to the champion very, very shortly. First of all, I want to say thank you very much everybody for a incredible season. When the highs, they were very... Well, when we had highs, they were very high. When we had lows, they were pretty low. But still, we've got through it and we will get better for sure. Regardless, I want to say thank you to everybody that has given us some great entertainment this season. I've really appreciated it and it's been great to watch. And we will start and end the interviews with the guy who has been at the front of it all, literally. You are the champion, Zingy. We knew that a while ago, but we can confirm it now, of course. The final race, are you happy the season's over?
No, not really, because I can't really say I'm... Well, I can say I'm the reigning champion now, at least, but I can't say I'm the current champion, so... But hey, it's been a good season, you know, it's all the battles, all the strategical masterclasses by myself, and all the second places has also been very good to see, so... It's been a fun season, honestly, yeah. Are we talking about the season or the race? I'm guessing season.
Season overall and the race. We'll talk about the race in a little bit. Now the season's done, I want you to be honest here.
Oh no.
First few rounds, were you a little bit nervous? You know, you hadn't had a win. I know you were leading the championship, but you hadn't had a win in a long time. Were you just getting a little bit worried?
I don't think nervous is the right word. I wasn't... I don't know what the right word would be, but I was concerned. I was just like, this isn't normal. I should probably have a win by now. And then I won Japan, and then I couldn't stop. And I was just like, okay, wait, never mind. I'm fine. I've not
just
got
like
the...
peeing. What a way to imagine that. Right. Today's race had a couple of issues. Not the greatest thing to see. It's a little bit painful, I admit, but you still had a nice battle with Iga Pro to keep everything entertaining. Can you take us through it?
Oh god, I'll try my best to wrap this up as quickly as possible because it's quite a boring race. But yeah, mostly just try to keep them behind Sidewinder. Went for a few optimistic lunges, which was very nice to see. Apart from when he was ahead of me, and then I was like, nah, you get back behind me, and he did. And then he was permanently behind me when he spun, and I shouldn't have said this really, but I was celebrating because I was so slow. I'm scared. I'm like, no, he's on mediums, but he spun off, and then me and Igor had a little battle, which was quite nice. I mean, Igor won the old, well, not the oldest. Well, I don't know about his age, but I mean, like one of the people who've raced here the longest. So racing with him was actually a nice change up for Niffle, who constantly in the sandbox. So it's quite nice.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's a shame that it went that way, but still a fairly entertaining battle, I guess, even though it wasn't where you wanted to be at the top step. But still, well done. 2023, are you optimistic to make it 4, or are you not really looking for that in the next year?
What do you think of my answers?
Well, I'd say yes, but you know, the current game's well, a lot of people don't like it. Personally, I do. I still enjoy the game a lot, but I'm just wondering, are you looking for the 4th?
I mean, I always look to improve, so there's your answer.
Fair enough. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much. And one last question. How would you describe your championship in 3 words?
Okay, we've got a minute, right, to think.
Of course. While you do that, I'm going to say thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure. We will see you tomorrow for the final F1.5 race in Great Britain. We'll see you on Tuesday for the final winter season race, and that will be the final race in 2022. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a great season. And then we will end it with the final 3 words from Zingy. From me, it's goodbye, and from Zingy, it is...
Schumacher, Hamilton, Zingy.